I have created the best way to get new investment ideas. We have created a very safe and awesome community at Everything Money right over here. It's got thousands of members in there, and I get tons of investment ideas from them. So in this video, I'm gonna cover 5 stocks that our community members are looking at. I'm gonna go through them quickly. If anything comes of interest, I'm gonna go through our stock analyzer tool and run it. And you're gonna see my live reaction as I look at these companies for the very first time since I heard about these. So you ready? Company number 1, Clorox. Guys, you remember Clorox? It hit big during COVID because everybody wanted to keep everything clean. Look at the COVID high. Back on August 5th, 2020, it hit a high of $240 a share. It is now at $124. So it's down quite a bit. Let's go look at the revenue here. Oh, wow, they've actually maintained I'm actually surprised by this. I would have guessed the revenue had fallen. So 6 billion, 6.2, 6.7, 7.3, 7.1, 7.39. I'm actually surprised by this. I actually would have thought it would have dropped big time, but it was already pretty stable here beforehand. Now, it's not a fast-growing company, which I like. I like stable companies. They tend to be boring, so people tend to ignore them. When people ignore them, what happens to the stock price? It goes down. That's something I like a lot. Let's look at their profit over the last, I don't like that. So guys, look at their profit. Before COVID, they were making $500, $600, $700, $800 million a year, and it's only fallen since then, even though they've gone from $930 million in profit down to $150 million in profit. I wonder why. Oh, right here. Look at last year. That's what I love, guys. Other income and expenses, a negative $500 million. So they should have made $660 million bucks. So one thing to find out is, what's that negative $500 million? All right, let's see their 8 pillars real quick. See if there's anything that's interesting. Okay, PE is a little high. I like the fact that the price of free cash flow is lower than the PE. That's great. All right, $930 million in free cash flow last year, $900 million of the last 5-year average, and very different than their net income. Okay, this could be, and their dividend, 3.8%. After I just railed in a video about dividends, should I be talking about the dividend here? But it eats up $580 million of their $900 million in free cash flow. So it's a big chunk, but again, it's not a fast-growing business, a very high return on invested capital. I'm actually interested in this one. I'm gonna do a stock analyzer tool here. Let's see what analysts are saying real quick. Wow. Analysts are saying big time growth in earnings per share from basically doubling in the next 5 years, even though revenue is only going up single digits. Interesting. All right, let's look at a 10-year analysis of Clorox. Have I done Clorox in the past? Let's see what Clorox, if I've ever done it. I've never done Clorox. You guys are seeing the first time me analyzing Clorox. All right. Revenue growth. I'm going to do 0, 2, and 4%. Guys, this is not a fast-growing business. It's a one-brand business. It's a great, brand, but I'm not putting big numbers in here. I'm putting 0% revenue growth on the low side, 2 in the middle, 4 on the high. Obviously, with inflation, it'll probably help. Profit margin. Now, profit margin in the last 10 years has been at 10%. Isn't that interesting? The last 5 years have been lower than the last 10 years, even though they had the big boom from COVID. Interesting. I'll put in 8, 9.5, and 11. Free cash flow has been very consistent. I'm going to do 12, 12.5, and 13. PE. The current PE is 103, but you remember it was also, the earnings were down because of that $500 million write-off. So for PE, I'm going to do 13, 16, and 19. And same thing with price to free cash flow. Guys, good brand name, probably has a very good hold on the industry. It's the known brand for bleach. So I'm looking at saying, okay, am I willing to pay about the 15 or 16 market average for that? Absolutely. I think to myself, that's good. I'm okay with that. And they can consistently grow their revenue slowly but surely, but increase their earnings per share by a lot. Because remember, I forgot to look at this. Let's pull it up right here. Their gross margin is about 40%. That means for every extra dollar they sell, 40 cents goes to their pre-tax profit. That can really drive up your profit in the company. That's probably a lot of the reason why the analysts have a bigger earnings per share as time goes on. So finally, what's my desired return? I'm going to put 10 on the low side, 11.5 in the middle, 13 on the high side. Because I don't even think the high side here, my high assumptions were crazy. I could see a world easily in which revenue is growing 4% a year. We have inflation. It's going up. 11% wasn't some absurd profit margin. Free cash flow wasn't absurd at 13. So I'm okay getting only a 13% return on my highest assumptions. All right, so I'm gonna hit the analyze button. All right, needs to drop. Low price of 50 to 75, middle price of 70 to 90, high price of 90 to 109. I'm gonna add it to my watch list at 90 bucks. Notify me, because it is a brand. I like the fact, let me go back to the 8 pillars here. Lower debt. I think the big pit play for Clorox at some point, if they get really cheap, buy back those mother effing shares. Buy back those shares, baby. If it gets cheap enough, just buy back those shares. If it falls to 90, that price of free cash flow is falling to 12. If I'm the company, I'm buying back those shares. So I love that. All right, next company, Kraft Heinz. Big one for Warren Buffett. I don't know if he still has his big stake in it, but he was involved in it. Wow. Down 20% year to date. All-time high of $97 back in February of 2017. Now it's at 32. So if I told you 6.5 years ago, that in 2023, Kraft Heinz would be selling for 1/3 of its price at that point, you'd been like, you're crazy, Paul. It's Kraft Heinz. They're awesome. That's what I want you to remember here. Anything can happen. Let's go look at the 8 pillars. I knew their debt was going to be high. Oh, pass. No, I'm not going to say pass yet. Dividend yield is pretty high. They couldn't really afford the dividend last year. If you look right here, dividends paid were $2 billion. Their free cash flow last year was $1.5. So they probably had to use some extra money in there. I don't like this debt level, guys. That's bad. That's really, really bad. Their 5-year average free cash flow is that's a lot of debt. I look at this thinking to myself, look at this. Gross profit of 34. Clorox is higher gross profit. I think Clorox is a better company than this. I'm moving on. Atkore, Atkore. Let's check this one out. This one I've heard a lot about lately. Atkore, leading manufacturer of electrical, mechanical, and safety infrastructure solutions. They have 2 business segments, electrical and safety and infrastructure. Net sales, let's check this out. Check out the 8 pillars. It is an 8-pillar thriller. Low PE of 12 over the last 5 years. Low price of free cash flow of 13. Growth in free cash flow. Growth in net income. Man, high return on invested capital, 27%. That's crazy high. Do they pay a dividend? They do not pay a dividend. Low debt. This is interesting. I think I've done, I have it. I think I've done a stock analyzer on this one. Let's look it up. Atkore. I did it just recently. Values I came up with. All right. 96 on the low side, 150 on the high side, 120 in the middle. I have it on my watch list at 120. Guys, I like this one. And the reason I like it so much is it's only a $5.7 billion company. If they're smart about growth and reinvesting their capital, and if the stock continues to stay cheap, its current price of free cash flow is 7. If it stays that cheap and they buy back shares, this is a company that can compound like crazy. And it could, if the market cap goes to 20 billion, but they buy back enough shares, it could be a 10 or 20 bagger. That's what I like about the stock. This is a stock that I purely got because of our community. That's literally, I was not looking at this company until the community mentioned it to me. BCC is the 4th company. Boise Cascade Company. What do they do? Producer of engineered wood products and plywood. Okay, it's probably a booming industry right now because of building. Let's check out their income statement. Oh boy. So, big boom after COVID. Look at this huge increase in revenue. Now it's starting to come down. Let's look at the quarterly numbers to see how it's going quarter to quarter. So I'm going to pull up the quarterly numbers. Last quarter, they did $1.8 billion. That was June of 2023. June of 2022 was 2.28. That's down almost 20%. 1.54 from 2.33. All right. So this is a construction-related business. It's all about construction to them. So if construction's doing well, they're going to do well. Let's see their free cash flow. The PE of 7, price of free cash flow is 5. They're reporting higher free cash flow than net income and higher 5-year free cash flow than 5-year net income. I love that. A dividend, that's interesting. See, I don't like this. Don't give a dividend. Start buying back shares. You're a $4 billion company. Keep your dividends off the books. Take your dividends off and start buying back shares with that money. This is cheap. This is freaking cheap. I know the 4.6% dividend yield is very attractive, but buy back those shares. Buy back those shares. Let me look at this. What do analysts say? Are there any analysts following it? Okay. Let's do a stock analyzer on this one. let's do a 20-year analysis. And the reason 20 years is I want to see, like, I'm very confident that home prices as a whole will be up over the next 10 or 20 years, but there's going to be a lot of, my guess is there's going to be a lot of fluctuation in revenue. It's already starting to decline. And so let's sit there, let's be conservative and call it 0% revenue growth in the next 20 years. 0%, guys. That's beyond conservative. Let's do 2.5% in the middle, 5% in the high side. Now look at this. I don't like this. Profit margin and free cash flow are both 4.6. It is getting better, but I wonder how much of this is driven. Like, what's the long-term real average? This was all COVID or after, basically. So it's a question I have to ask. So I'm going to do 4, 6, and 8% for both of these. PE. I think that PE is too low. For a company like this, I think I'm going to do 10, 13, and 16. So I'm doing a higher PE and higher price of free cash flow. The question is that going to actually occur? These are very, very low numbers. Now for my desired return, it's a small company. A lot of fluctuation, a lot of volatility is going to happen. So I'm probably going to want a higher return than normal. So I'm going to do 12.5, 15, and 17.5. Real big numbers, guys. So keep this in mind. Hit the analyze button. The stock's currently at 100. Oh, wow. I'm actually surprised by this. 58 on the low side, 130 on the high side, 92 in the middle. Wow. So guys, I'm going to add this to my watch list at $90. Doesn't mean I'm buying it at 90. It means I'm going to take a further look in the community and ask the community members, what are you guys finding that you like? I like that. $90. Target added successfully. Okay, last one. Williams Sonoma, WSM. Guys, I like this company. It's retail, so there's a lot of negativity around retail, but let's check out. I mean, it's selling for 9 times its free cash flow, 10 times earnings, dividend yield they can easily afford, 5-year average free cash flow, $870 million, last year, $1 billion. High return on invested capital. I've talked about this company before. I like it. High gross margin. I mean, you know what I'm gonna do further on this one, guys? I'm gonna go look at their 10K and see how they're opening and closing stores. This is something I do a lot with retail. In the 10K, here's the retail store data. Store count beginning of the year, they've actually decreased the number of stores. They opened 15 new ones, closed 29. So I like this. They're being smarter about their stores. They're going to sit there and say, listen, retail is becoming harder. Let's be smarter. Let's close bad locations. Let's only open in good locations that are growing. I like that a lot. Let's see how their comparable store sales are. Comparable brand revenue growth. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, they own Pottery Barn. Interesting. So their actual Williams Sonoma did a decline of 1.7% for themselves, but overall 6.5% of their comparable store sales. And a comparable store sale is defined permanent stores where gross square footage did not change by more than 20% in the previous 12 months and have been open for at least 12 consecutive months without closure for more than 7 days. Companies are very specific about what their comparable store would be located, what the comparable store would be defined as. I like this. So overall, they still did see growing brand here, overall comparable store sales. So they're getting 6.5% of natural growth last year, plus opening more stores. That's a good thing. All right. So I've done Williams Sonoma before. Let's see what the 8 pillars are. It's an 8-pillar thriller. No wonder people love it. Let's go to Stock Analyzer. Let's pull up Williams Sonoma. Boom. I did 2, 4, and 6% revenue growth, 7.5. I think I'm very conservative here. Wow. Very conservative. I have it on my watch list at 120. So I have a low price of 95 to 105, high price of 150 to 166, middle price of 120 to 135. So guys, I have it on my watch list at 120, even though that's low. And I look at my returns. I have 12, 14, and 16. It is retail. It is harder. I think I'm still going to stick with this. And if it hits 120, I'm not, dying to own this company. So if it hits 120, I'll take a look at it. But it's only a $10 billion company. They're smart about buybacks. I mean, look at their buybacks now. They've bought back 22% of their shares in the last 5 years. If they keep growing their revenue and profit and cash flow and buy back these cheap shares, this could be a huge multi-bagger. Guys, thank you very much for our time. As you see, the community is awesome. We have a free 7-day trial, full access to the full community. Go sign up at everythingmoney.com. I'll see you in the community.